Alright, hey y'all, I'm here with another review. I am reviewing Cartel Crew Season 3, Episode 3. Alright, so I'm not really sure. I wonder if this is going to be a long video or not. I don't know. We shall see. So again, this is another episode where I'm going to put this out on the forefront before anybody start what they typing. When it comes to the whole Eddie and Stephanie situation, like most things, I get it from both sides. So far this season, I'm understanding for everybody. I don't think not one person so far is like completely right and another person is completely wrong. And I mean, in most situations, that's how it is. But especially so far, this third episode, I can see it from everybody's perspective. And like I said, I'll explain that as we go. So we got Marie's drunk ass coming home, okay, like she did last episode. And of course, she's talking about the prenup. Now, I don't know why, but okay, first of all, I couldn't even take this argument that seriously because Marie was drunk as hell. So, yes, she meant a lot of the stuff that she was saying, but at the same time, hold on, y'all. I'm sorry, I got the game on and I'm trying to figure out. Oh, I think it's halftime. Okay, anyway, so I couldn't really take it all that seriously because she was super, super drunk. But I did understand that her points were valid. So, first of all, she said that it's 3 weeks until the wedding. I'm trying to figure out, when did he bring up this prenup? Like, so if it's 3 weeks now, that means he literally must have just brought it up. Nigga, you don't be engaged this whole time and then wait. And that's another reason why I understand why Marie is pissed off. How do you wait until 3 weeks before your wedding happens and say, oh, let's have a prenup? I'm starting to low-key think that this whole situation between Michael and Marie is kind of like for a storyline, but I'm going to keep buying into it. It's fine. While they're going back and forth, Michael says to Marie, because he was like, my mom always like taught me that at the end of the day, it's never personal. It's just business. And she was like, so you think your mom would tell me to, would tell me to go ahead and sign the prenup? And he said, honestly, my mom would slap the fuck out of you, put a gun to your head, and then tell you to sign it. And she was like, what? What, are you serious? And she like really just started snapping out about that. Now, was that rude to say? Absolutely, Michael. But do I believe him? Absolutely. You know who his mama was? She absolutely probably would have smacked the fuck out of you and been like, bitch, you about to sign this shit right now. Straight Godfather style, okay? I believe him. Should he have said it? No. Would it have probably been true? Yes. Okay. So then they start going back and forth, and Michael pretty much says that, I have it as Mike because I didn't feel like writing his whole name out. But Michael pretty much says, he was like, I started this business before you. So according to Michael, he started the Blanco business 2 years before he even got or met Marie. And so, he was like, you didn't really do anything to like help me, with the business. And she was like, so I wasn't behind you the whole way. He said, yeah, exactly. Keyword, behind. I don't like the way that he did that. I think that's kind of fucked up to be like, yeah, you was behind me. And, but he did say that she didn't help with anything as far as the operations. So what I'm thinking is, maybe from Michael's point of view, like, you never helped me with the actual business itself. But maybe from Marie's point of view, it's like, okay, I might not help you every single day, but if it wasn't for me holding the house down, you wouldn't have the opportunity to go out and get that money. And I'm pretty sure Marie has helped on some administrative assistant stuff. I'm pretty sure she has helped in some way, somehow with that business. You can't tell me she's done absolutely nothing. Now, having her hands all in it, probably not. But you can't tell me that that's your wife, about to be your wife, and y'all been together all this time, and you pretty much started this business from the ground up, and she didn't help you just a little bit. I think that's bullshit. So like I said, Marie drunk ass just keep going off, because that really pissed her off when he said the whole behind him. She was like, give me my credit. That's all I'm asking for. I'm asking you to just give me my credit for me helping you. You didn't do this by yourself. Girl, do you know how many women have had that conversation? That you didn't do it by yourself? Who the fuck do you think you are? We've all had that conversation, okay? So she's mad about him not giving credit. She was like, our relationship isn't a business, and that's how you're trying to treat it. And he was like, look, you're not the first person that has to do this. Everybody that comes around, pretty much, I guess, his family or anything like that, he's like, they have to do that. Like, even the last one had to do that, I guess, talking about I don't think I knew that Michael was married before this. I don't think I knew that. Maybe they said it in the previous season, but that wasn't something that registered to me. So when she said, I was like, oh, he was married before. So yeah. So she was like, so what are you saying? Like your ex-wife had to do the same thing? He said, yeah. She was like, and that's why your ass is divorced now. I said, that's a good comeback, Marie. You the one marrying him, but that's a good ass comeback. And she was like, and that's why you and Magic, y'all both gonna end up, that's exactly why y'all both in the same predicament. Now, it seemed like to me, Marie was like low-key telling a little bit of Magic's business, was about to, and Michael stopped her. He was like, stop right there. Don't bring his life into it. Don't bring his situation into, because I think Magic, I don't know if he talked about it. Maybe he did talk about how he doesn't have the best relationship with like the mother of his child. I think I believe I think he talked about that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I swear Matthews talked about that before in the past. So maybe that's what she was referring to. And she was like, well, that's why he's fucked up now, and y'all two could just go ahead and marry each other. And so at this point, Michael started getting deep in his feelings because he's like, you ain't about to come for his friend the same way that like Kat or Stephanie go up for Kat. That's how Michael go up for his do Magic. He's not about to hear it. He was like, when I was in jail and I had, I'm only talking about this because my boyfriend's sleeping. When I was in jail and I had $1 million bond, did nobody do nothing for me? Did nobody help me but him? He's the one who bonded me out. So I'm going to forever owe him. That's my brother. I was like, all right, okay. Now I like how I'm starting to understand a little bit more about why Michael and Magic are like so close. So starting to get a little bit more, information as to why. So that helps a lot. So he pretty much is like fed the hell up. And, so he gets his stuff and he's like, I'm out of here. So he leaves out. So then let's see. Then we go, oh Lord, y'all. So the next scene, we go like, like, did anybody hear the loud blaring train in that next scene? Was it just me? Did nobody hear the train? Choo choo? Okay. Oh, Lord. Eddie and Magic. That was a wonderful sight on my beautiful 70-inch. That was a beautiful sight for me to see. Chugga choo choo, bitch, okay? So they in the gym or whatever. Magic is so fucking fine. I'm so sorry. I just thought about it. That man is so fine. Like, Eddie's fine. Magic, fine. Fine as hell. And I just started following Magic on Instagram. Fine. He needs to post more. Fine as hell. That man is so fine, y'all. Let me keep going. I'm always caught up in how fine that man really is to me. Anyway, so they're talking about the different changes and stuff like that, that Eddie has to make with him being out of jail and stuff and being on parole. And, he talks about how, with him doing everything the correct way, like, it's kind of weird for him. So, like, when it's really, like, serene and peaceful, he's like, I'm getting, like, real bad anxiety. And it's crazy because we was just watching Black Summer, I think the second season came out of that. And I was talking to my boyfriend about how the daughter in the show, once, this is spoiler alert if you didn't see Black Summer, but like towards like the last couple episodes, her and her mom and one of the other guys, they found like pretty much this place for them to like stay. If y'all don't know, Black Summer is like a zombie type of show. And so once they actually are kind of cool and sitting down and stuff, the daughter starts freaking out. And so my boyfriend, he's like, I don't get like why is she like freaking out now all of a sudden. I'm like, well, because when you in so much chaos all the time and then you get taken out of that chaos, it's kind of like a culture shock a little bit. So it's kind of like, what am I supposed to do? Like, why is everything just going okay? That's how I be thinking sometimes too. Trust me, it's like, it's a mental thing. But anyway, so yeah. That was them. Michael comes home. He said he stayed at a hotel the night before. He comes home to a note and the engagement ring on the bed from Marie saying how she, was leaving and, she just got to figure some stuff out. So then we switch over to Nicole's house and Marie went over to Nicole's house. That's who she's staying with, her and her daughter. And they go outside and they have a conversation or whatever. And, Michael's calling her, blowing her up, leaving all these voicemails. And she's like, I just never seen that side of him. And, it's making me question everything. And she's talking about the prenup again. And Nicole just, made it plain. You can't have from him forever. You got to make a decision. If you go and call it the wedding, call it off. But if not, you need to go ahead and figure it out. And I got in my notes, I definitely don't think, because she was like, do you think you're going to call off the wedding? I said, Marie is not calling off that fucking wedding. Even if this wasn't, a quote-unquote storyline, Marie wasn't calling off that fucking wedding. And I'm not even saying it in a materialistic way. She really just loves Michael. It's obvious how much she loves that man. She was not about to call that wedding off. She just, needed time and was going through the motions. That's perfectly fine. So then we go over, we see Diana and her little boyfriend walking the dog, which I love the fact that her dog's name is Khaleesi. Shout out to the Game of Thrones fans, okay? And they're talking about this music studio, I guess, that she's opening up. Y'all remember last season or the season before how Diana talked about how she wanted to have her own label. Yes, that makes sense. I do remember that because that's her and Stephanie had originally got into it because Diana wanted Stephanie to come to a showcase and she didn't come or something like that. I think that's what they had gotten to a couple seasons before about. So they're talking about that and how the boyfriend is a producer, and I'm like, yeah, I bet he is. Sis, that man is gonna never mind. Shut up, Jalissa. Just keep going. It's not my business. It's not your business. Just let her get got, bitch. Okay, cool. Anyway, so she talks about how she wants to introduce her boyfriend to everybody. So she was like, what if we have a baby shower, as the intro, you're the baby, you're my baby. Diana, let's never do that again. That is creepy. It's creepy, and I can't use the word on here. I'm not saying that you are this, but that's weird for you to be like, I'm gonna have a baby shower to show off my new boyfriend because of how young he is. That's not a cute idea, and I don't find it funny. I actually think that it's not cute. It's not cute. Could have just said, hey, I got a boyfriend, here he is, yes, he's young as fuck, next question. It's just that simple. So she talks about, she tells him about the whole argument that her and Stephanie got into at the bridal place, and how, she was like, I'm definitely going to invite Eddie because that's my brother. She was like, but I'm not going to invite Stephanie. Stephanie's not allowed to come. So then we go over and we see Eddie. He goes to see his lawyer about possibly getting off of probation, but the likelihood of that is very, very low. So then it's Diana's party, okay? So the first thing that comes on, the train comes first, okay? And I'm the first damn passenger on the train. And then I'm pretty sure Diana's next. So the train comes, okay? Them two come first, okay? And so Diana's talking to them, and she tells Eddie pretty much what Stephanie had said, about implying about, them fucking and stuff like that. And again, I want to make this clear. Stephanie did not say that to Diana, but that is the energy that she was giving off when she brought it up. Just saying. So Eddie, he's like, I don't understand why Stephanie always got my name in her mouth. I don't get it. You know why, because she don't fucking like you. I'm not saying that's right, but she don't like you. So Diana was like, I don't really see what the issue is because I've met you and Kat around the same time. So I can be neutral. I don't have to pick a side. That's what I was saying last week when I was saying I can understand that point of view. Although I agreed with Stephanie in the sense of that's not something that I would do, I can understand Diana being like, well, if I'm cool with both of y'all, why do I have to say fuck Eddie just because y'all two are not getting along? I'm friends with both of y'all. I can be friends with both of y'all. I don't have to pick a side. I get that. I can get that thinking too. I can absolutely get that thinking as well. So then Betty ends up coming. Betty's ass looked super, super fat. I just want to point that out. I know Magic was looking her ass looked super fat. And then Kat ends up coming. Kat, I love you, boo, but never mind. I'm not gonna take it there because that's not even important. So Kat comes in, and of course Kat is automatically annoyed because she see her baby daddy there. So she's like, hi baby daddy. He's like, hi baby moms. I think that's so ghetto but cute to me. So Eddie ends up pulling Kat to the side. He was like, I just wanted to, tell you thank you for sitting down with me and Kat. You didn't have to do that. She was like, well, she's like, if you're not going to be with me. And I want y'all to listen. I pay attention to how people, the words that people use. Listen to what Kat said. Kat still loves that man, which there's nothing wrong with that. And she could say that she don't want to be with him like Stephanie said, but she absolutely still wants to be with that man. And there's nothing wrong with that because again, that's her baby father. She was with him a long time. But listen to what she said. She said, if you don't want to be with me anymore, then you are going to move on. So I have to be, okay, because I know that person's going to be around De Niro. I appreciate the fact that she was like, but I also know that you would never bring somebody around De Niro that's crazy or have me sit down with somebody that you think is crazy. And so, when he was like, I just think that we wasn't compatible, and I think she might be the one. Her whole face, it's like the blood just drained out of it. And Eddie, he was like, I want you to be with somebody, Kat. Like, I want you to be happy. I want you to, I don't think Kat is there yet. I don't think she is where Eddie is as far as like being able to move on. I think she still got some other unresolved issues that she got to kind of work through in regards to you, like personally, before she can move on. At least that's just how it comes off like on her aura. But she was like, no, that's fine. Just like, don't be putting me in your documentaries and stuff. He was like, oh my gosh, here you going with this documentary again. And he was like, you know, I don't understand. I don't know how, but some way, somehow, Stephanie got brought up, and he was like, yeah, even when it comes to Stephanie, and Stephanie sitting up here talking about me and, putting my name in her mouth, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, I just want you to tell your friends stop talking about me. And Kat, of course, going to stand behind Stephanie. She was like, she wasn't talking about you. She didn't even say anything about you. She asked Diana a question. That's all that it had. And it had nothing really to do with you, blah, 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 blah. So they just keep going back and forth. And she was like, you want to know what? This is not going anywhere. I'm just saying that I understand where she's coming from. They get up, they go. She's like, let's just go back to the party. So they go back to the party. So then the next thing we see is Stephanie pull up. And I'm sorry, Stephanie. See, Stephanie, me and Stephanie, we're like this. I'm like this with her. Because sometimes I agree with her and I'm fully on her side, but other times I can't. Stephanie, you was in the wrong off top for pulling up to somebody's crib who did not fucking invite you. And on top of that, you lucky that Diana was nice enough to just allow you to sit down in her crib and not kick you the fuck out. Because here's the thing, Stephanie, love you, girl, but if I did not invite you to my shit, do not just pop up. I honestly think doing pop-ups at somebody's house, I think is one of the most disrespectful things that you can do. To me personally, it's rude because you don't know what the fuck I have going on. How do you know I even want to be bothered today? You call before. Let me tell you something. There is literally a rule in my family. You call well in advance before you pull up. You do not pull up to somebody's crib and just knock on the door. So if you know for a fact that there was a party going on and you were specifically not invited, why the hell would you go? And why would you want to go knowing you wasn't invited? So to me, that's where Stephanie had me fucked up in this whole situation, girl. Don't pull up to somebody's crib who didn't specifically invite you to come. But fine, she came in. Diana let her rock. She was like, okay, well, I mean, I see you pulled up anyway, even though I didn't fucking invite you. And she was like, oh, well, I'm here, da 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 da. And she was like, I can still put things. This is what didn't make sense. She's like, I can still be grown and put things to the side. What do you mean? Y'all are not here for Kat. Y'all are not here for Marie. Y'all are here for her stuff. So what do you mean? Put what to the side? Anyway, so Diana says, I feel she felt disrespected pretty much about what Stephanie had to say because she was like, you was questioning my loyalty and I don't like pretty much play that. Like, don't try to question me being loyal. And Stephanie was like, well, I know that she's like, you have to be closer friends with Kat because, you spend more time with her. Like, she's a woman, you know what I mean? And Kat was like, she definitely was closer to me. And she was like, so I'm just confused, like either be neutral or she's like, either pick a side or be neutral. Now, in Diana's defense, Diana did say and had said multiple times, she was like, I was being neutral by me not picking a side. I'm not picking a side. So that's me being neutral. So, and I will say that that's definitely kind of contradicting herself a little bit. You can't tell her be neutral. And by being neutral means I'm not gonna pick anybody's side and then still say, oh, but you sided with him. Just because she chills with him a little bit, this is to me her picking a side. It's specifically hanging out with Eddie and not chilling with Kat anymore. That's picking a side. But if she's still hanging out with both of them, like I said, although I understand, and girl, it couldn't be me, I wouldn't be hanging out with my fucking friend's ex-boyfriend. but I can understand and I can see it from Diana's point of view. So um Diana says, this is the part where Diana lost me. Diana, she was like, oh, I don't invite Eddie in particular to anywhere. I post stuff and then he shows up and he supports my event or whatever. And Stephanie said in her confession, she was like, oh, okay, but this is just a little small intimate party and Eddie's here, so I'm confused. That's a good point. No, that's a good fucking point. And she did say earlier, I am inviting Eddie in particular. So what we doing here, Diana? Are we doing this for the camera so that everybody could be around each other? If so, let us know that on the side. But that was a little shaky to me. So Kat was like, look, at the end of the day, me and Diana, we already talked about it. It's no disrespect. She would never disrespect me. Like, let's just go ahead and move on. And Stephanie was like, all right, cool, done, boom, done. So then Eddie jumps in. Now Eddie, in the midst of them going back and forth, is like, you guys don't have to argue. Up, like, I don't want you guys arguing over me. Just talk to me. And all three of them was like, ain't nobody arguing over you. Niggas are like so like self-centered. Ain't nobody arguing over you. And they really wasn't, Eddie. It was the principle of the matter and the fact that, like, Stephanie just don't like you, but it's the principle of the matter. It's more of a girl code thing. It's not really you in particular. It could have been like, you could have been any one of Kat's ex-boyfriends. Now, would Stephanie have gone as hard? Probably not, but the principle still applies. Okay. So then Eddie is like, Stephanie, all I'm telling you is just pretty much like, don't talk about me or whatever. And I can't control and help who Kat wants to hang around, but I can control who pretty much is around my son. Pretty much low-key threatening for her to not be around De Niro. And so Stephanie was like, well, she's like, what the fuck did I ever do to De Niro? Did I ever threaten him? Did I ever put his life in harm? No. And she was like, at the end of the day, I was the one that was there when you wasn't, okay? I'm the one with him. And she was like, he said, what? He was like, when you went to jail, okay, and Kat had that baby and you couldn't rock your son, I'm the one sitting up here rocking your son. I'm the one sitting here taking care of him when nobody, when you wasn't around. I'm the one that's showing up. I'm the one that's doing for him. So Eddie was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why are you even sitting up here saying that? Like, what the hell is, like, what is your problem? And Kat's like, oh, that's my best friend and she helped in a lot of ways with De Niro when you wasn't here. And so, she has done a lot. So let me tell y'all my thoughts on that whole piece right there, okay? This is where I said I can see it from everybody's side. So from Eddie's point of view, or not from Eddie's point of view, for Eddie, this is how I feel. You're wrong as fuck for bringing up De Niro in that situation. De Niro had absolutely nothing to do with what y'all was talking about. The conversation, really, you didn't even have to interject yourself in because, as everybody said, it really didn't have anything to do with you in particular. It was the point of the matter. And Stephanie did say, once Kat was like, we talked about it, let's be done. Stephanie did say, all right, cool, we're done, let's move on, we're done. So you should have just let it be done at that point in time. That's number one. And so, like I said, you bringing up De Niro, that was unnecessary. So because you brought up De Niro in that situation, you opened up the door for Stephanie to come through and pretty much like fire your ass up because you brought him into it when he had no part of the conversation. It had nothing to do with him. And again, it was about the principle, not about you. Now, as far as Stephanie's concerned, Stephanie never liked Eddie. So regardless of what it is that Eddie didn't do, it don't matter. She was always going to have a problem with him, period. And I appreciate what Kat said after like this whole thing, which is, me and Eddie are in a good place now. Whatever me and him got going on, we got to fix our issues. And Eddie, he was like, yes, we got to. She said, no, you're right, we. So I appreciate Kat putting an emphasis on that because I feel like Stephanie sometimes, not sometimes, a lot, oversteps her boundaries when it comes to Kat's relationship with Eddie. At the end of the day, I understand that that's your best friend because, like, I have a best friend too, and I get that. But I have never in my life ever stepped to, like, remember like last season when she had came to Eddie's job and said something to him, and I would never step to my best friend's significant other the way that you do, or insert myself in certain things that you don't need to. Now, if me and my best friend is having a conversation, that's one thing, right? I'm going to go off, do whatever, go off, have her back or whatever. But I'm not going to take that out in public in front of everybody. And it's not cool at the end of the day. Because all you're going to do, although you're trying to help Kat, all you're going to do is make her life like more like harder as far as dealing with Eddie. Because then you have Eddie talking about Oh, we'll get there. And also, Stephanie, I felt like you sound like a lesbian mom to me, to be quite honest. Like, you sounded like one of the girls who stepped in, like you said, when they baby daddy, went to jail, and then the girl, liked you or whatever, and you start taking care of her kids, because that's what you sound like. And this is the thing. No matter how true that is, Stephanie, and again, like I said, he did open the door for you to bring up the stuff about helping with De Niro, but you don't tell another man how you was rocking his child as a baby when they was first born. It's just rude. It's out of pocket. It's not necessary. Like, it's just that type of shit. It's not necessary. That's what I mean when I'm saying, Stephanie, all you're gonna do is make the relationship between Kat and Eddie more strained. It's best off if you just completely step back and say nothing. When he was going back and forth with you, you should have just let him go back and forth. You should just be like, you know what, Eddie, you got it. You won't hear nothing. I ain't gonna never say your name again. Don't worry about it. And just should have left it at that. Even if you do plan on saying his name later, it don't matter. Let me see how much time I got. Okay, I'm doing good. I'm coming towards the end. So, like I said, Kat ended up saying, it's me and Eddie's business. We got to figure it out. So then Eddie says, well, Stephanie, I'm going to tell you like this. I'm uncomfortable around you. So, like, when I'm around my kid, I don't want you around because I feel uncomfortable. She was like, well, when you have your daddy time, that's perfectly fine. Like, y'all can have him. I have no reason to be around you and De Niro when y'all around each other. And he was like, well, when my kid has a birthday party and stuff like that, I don't want you around because it's going to make me uncomfortable. And she said, fine. I don't have to be there. I don't have to be there. And Kat's like, no. Y'all both have to be there because he loves his daddy and he loves his TT at the end of the day. So y'all gonna have to figure it out. And I'm sorry. Again, like I said, I understand it from both sides, and I get Eddie feeling like I don't want somebody around like my child that obviously hates me. I get that. But at the same time, I understand Stephanie because I would be quick. I am Stephanie. When he said, don't show up to the party, I ain't gotta go. That's me. Because what you're not gonna do, I hate people that use kids as pawns and stuff like that against you. And that's low-key what Eddie was doing to, like, you're like low-key trying to use De Niro to, like, I don't want to say manipulate her, but to kind of control her. And that's unnecessary because she's never done anything to De Niro. So what does their relationship have anything to do with the fact that y'all might not get along? Although I understand his feelings and his sentiments, but I'm Stephanie too. If you tell me not to show up for your kid's birthday party, all right, girl, I won't go. It's not my kid, and I can love them to the earth and back, but you're not about to sit up here and play with my feelings when it comes to a kid. I don't play those fucking games. So you don't want me to come? I'll make it easy on you. I just won't show the fuck up. And like she said, I see him when I see him. I see him when it's me and his time, because I'm going to see him regardless. And so then at the end, we got Marie and Michael. She comes back to the house, and, she agrees to sign the prenup, and, he apologizes about how he went about explaining it, because we all know that it was a terrible way of explaining it, Michael. But y'all get in the comments. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Do y'all understand it from both sides the way that I do? Like, I get where Eddie is coming from, because Stephanie do come for his head top a lot, but I understand Stephanie being like, this really had nothing to do with you. This was more so a problem with the Diana. Do you guys also think that Stephanie oversteps her bounds when it comes to the relationship with Kat and Eddie? Or do you think, as a best friend, she's just trying to protect her friend? Now tell me what y'all think. I'm up. Bye.